Our next speaker is Aleksandra, who applied to the MPP whilst in a camp in Mosul. Today, Aleksandra is head of the Ukrainian mission of InterSOS, and for the past 5 months has been deployed to Ukraine, leading a humanitarian mission on providing emergency medical protection and material frontline assistance. In my career teaching, I've had about 2,000 students now, and Aleksandra must be the only student that I've ever had to sit down with and say, perhaps you can be a little less ambitious in your summer project. But Aleksandra persisted, and despite my advice, persisted on a fabulous summer project opportunity, which helped shape some of the lessons we've now learned from Afghanistan. And so, Aleksandra, over to you.
A love letter. In 2019, I was deployed to Aden, Yemen, to lead a humanitarian mission responding to cholera outbreak. Aden was in 4th year of civil and proxy war under control of non-state armed actors after the internationally recognized government has fled. We kept a low profile and worked largely from behind hide walls and barbed wires. Imagine my astonishment when in the base next door, amongst delegates of the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, I encountered an MPP alumna who graduated just 1 year before me, Mariam Mikaze-Gergeze. Shortly upon my arrival, I fell ill with malaria. Initially misdiagnosed, I was not administered malaria treatment early enough. I was lying in my bed, falling in and out of consciousness, under IV drips hanging from my window to reduce fever and chills. Maria, heard of my deteriorating condition, and ICRC stormed into my compound. The intervention saved me, with Maria sitting by my bed, feeding me and storytelling as I returned back to health. Listening, I recognized with clarity her taste of arduous adventure, her political insight, her sympathy for all conditions of men. When the pandemic erupted, with the air and sea routes closing Yemen off, evacuation in case of a further security breakdown became impossible. Humanitarians face a dilemma: to leave now on last UN evacuation flights, or to stay indefinitely. We were deeply torn, spending sleepless nights discussing both choices. Nearly all international staff of the UN and most NGO staff decided to leave. I evacuated my Polish deputy, and against the instruction of Warsaw to close the operation, stayed behind with my Yemeni team, justifying my refusal to leave with the humanitarian imperative to continue to deliver. And Maria stayed too. My team and I worked to rebuild bombed health facilities, provide medication and medical equipment, run birth delivery rooms, malnutrition and emergency trauma treatment, and reconstructed water systems in cholera and now COVID-19 outbreak zones. Soon, we were operating 7 health facilities, including 3 on the most active front line in South Yemen. Meanwhile, Maria and her team visited detention centers to ensure humane treatment of the prisoners of war, educated armed actors on international humanitarian law, and when necessary, undertook dead body management. We checked on each other. When my generators had broken down and I was operating on 1 hour of electricity every 7 hours, she smuggled me into their base. And she had yet again blissfully slept through an entire night of anti-aircraft artillery fire. I was there in the morning to brief her on security developments. We resorted to cathartically dark humor and occasional online salsa tutorials to disarm the circumstances around us. And on days when there were really no jokes left, we just sat in silence, eating leftovers from hibernation kits. And unbeknownst to us, with these 1,000 small acts of friendship and of the newly found camaraderie, our hope was becoming greater than our fear, allowing us to hold on to our humanity and refusing to give in to the cynicism and the vulgar violence around us. As months went by, Maria experienced temporary vision loss due to exhaustion. This time, I was privileged to be by her side and assist with her medical evacuation. In December 2020, a wind of change and new hope was felt as a new government was formed between warring factions in South Yemen. Yet when it landed on our only airport in Aden, 3 ballistic missiles targeting the new cabinet members hit the airport, missing by 60 seconds and killing 28 civilians instead. Including 3 humanitarians at the ICRC. Today, as the shadow of war fell across Europe, I lead a mission in Ukraine, where Maria had served years back following the first Russian invasion. And as I stand before you, my team on the ground provides first response in newly liberated areas of Izium and Kharkiv on the eastern front line, where daily shelling takes deadly toll on the people we assist and forces us all into hiding in underground shelters, makeshift bunkers, and metro stations. Meanwhile, Maria works on reintegration of ISIS families in Iraq, from where, on a desert in camps for people fleeing the battle from Mosul, I wrote my MPP application back in 2017. Our journeys were intertwined long before we even discovered each other's existence. And even though the sense of responsibility, so characteristic to all of us here, might seem solitary at times, as our unlikely story proves, life is not an autonomous journey. There is some unspoken human bond between us, the daredevils, the dreamers, trying to heal the ruptures in societies and patch the apocalypse. No matter how diverse our fields of work are, we are all part of the same struggle to make the world more habitable and humane. And I hope that these few days together will surprise you with new friendships of shocking depth, because there are very few things in the world more rewarding than that, and because we all need a little redemptive assistance from the outside. In wars, on a level deeper than the political and the military, I suspect that there are no winners and no losers. There are only survivors. And I pray that as I return, may I never be accompanied by a sense of defeat, nor by false victory, nor pride, but by gratitude. And despite my chest haunted by the dust from the cities turned into rubble, and despite my ears still ringing from air alarms, as I look around this room, I'm reminded of what goodness and what hope there is in this mutilated world. To the Blavatnik School community, to so many of you individually, and to Maria, all I have left is to whisper, thank you. May this be my love letter to you.